The search and rescue efforts are still underway after a cargo ship rammed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Bridge around 1:30 this morning, and 6 people are still missing.
The operators of the Dali cargo ship issued a mayday call that allowed authorities time to slow traffic on the bridge before the over 900-foot-long vessel struck the 47-year-old bridge, going roughly 9 miles per hour.
And thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Katie Moore. Baltimore agencies are working as quickly as possible to identify anyone who was on the Key Bridge when it collapsed early this morning. After we said a cargo ship crashed into one of the bridge's supports.
More from Baltimore ahead, but here in Southeast Louisiana, many of us cross these bridges every single day during our morning commute. So should you be worried about something like that possibly happening here?
Yeah, Alyssa Curtis went to find answers for us. And Alyssa, you're by a very busy bridge. So what'd you find out?
Katie, Sharice, we're here on the Mississippi River near the Crescent City connection, and the CCC is actually one of the most used bridges, not only in our metro area, but across the state of Louisiana. And if you're one of the many who drive it on a regular basis, you may have been worried or concerned when you woke up and saw the news of what happened in Baltimore. I spoke with DOTD this morning, and they said if you use either the CCC or any other bridge in our area, there's no need to panic. A striking moment caught on camera over 1,000 miles away from New Orleans in Baltimore. The video shows the moment a cargo ship hit the Francis Scott Key Bridge and forced it to crumble. Despite the distance from Southeast Louisiana, the video may have sparked questions about our own infrastructure. From the Hill Bogs to the Crescent City connection and beyond, bridges are a common aspect in many's daily commute. DOTD says while you can never be 100% certain an accident will never happen, overall, our bridges are safe and in good condition.
For the most part, over 85% of our bridges are in what we consider fair or better condition.
DOTD District Engineer Administrator Scott Boyle says bridges in the area get inspected once every 2 years at minimum.
They look at the deck, the substructure, which is the piers and columns. They look at the superstructure, which could be anything above the deck, and they're looking for cracks. They're looking for settlement. They're looking for any type of rust. They're looking for things that are hanging or bolts that are missing.
They get rated on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best possible condition.
A good bridge might be anything above a 7, and we start really looking closely at bridges when they're at a 4 or below.
DOTD says the Crescent City connection is one of the most traveled bridges in the state. It was last inspected in summer of 2022 and was rated a 6. It's due for another inspection this summer. Not only is the CCC heavily driven, New Orleans is one of the biggest ports in the world. DOTD says they have precautions in place to avoid a crash with the vessel.
On bridges, we'll have a marine fender system down in the waterway. The marine fender system serves as a protection system for the bridge itself to deflect the vessel should it be approaching the bridge.
So next time you're driving across a bridge in Louisiana, you don't need to be worried. Again, the Crescent City connection will be inspected again this summer. That's according to DOTD. They also said it is rated a 6 out of 10. If there are any concerns with any bridge when they inspect it, DOTD says they will up those inspections to either every 12 months or 6 months and quickly address any of those concerns. Reporting live on the Mississippi River, Alyssa Curtis, WWL Louisiana.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. A few hours ago, a press conference was held to give an update on the rescue and response efforts underway following that bridge collapse. We're giving you a live look right now at where the bridge once stood. The Dali cargo ship's massive weight struck the bridge support, causing the collapse. As we said earlier, 6 people are still missing. An inspection of the Dali last June at a port in Chile identified a problem with the ship's propulsion and auxiliary machinery. The crew aboard notified state officials the ship had lost propulsion and that hitting the bridge was possible.
Well, this is a unique circumstance. I do not know of a bridge that has been constructed to withstand a direct impact from a vessel of this size. What I will say is anytime anything happens to any bridge, we as a country take that and learn from that. Learning from incidents as diverse as what happened to I-95 in Philadelphia, what happened to I-10 in Los Angeles, or another case that we're learning a lot from here, which is the 2007 collapse of I-35 West in Minnesota. Let me emphasize that was a very different circumstance with very different causes. And the NTSB, by design, is independently leading the investigation into what those causes are. No question that we will take all of that information and apply it in our future work.
Now, the ship's warning enabled authorities to limit vehicle traffic on the span. Multiple vehicles fell into the water, although authorities don't think anyone was inside of them. Last June, federal inspectors raided the 47-year-old bridge in fair condition. The collapse of that bridge brings back memories of similar incidents closer to home.
It does. So we sent Meg Ferris to look through our archives, and she found 4 of the most notable disasters where barges hit local bridges and even a mall.
It was summer 1974 when a tugboat captain fell asleep on the job in the wheelhouse. 4 empty barges rammed into a section of the world's longest bridge, the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. 260 feet of roadway were taken out. 2 people lost their lives. A woman driving was hit directly at the collision point. A man driving a pickup could not stop in time and was catapulted into the water below. Just 2 years later, in 1976, another bridge disaster. A towboat was pushing 2 barges. They were loaded with oyster shells. A train was passing on the nearby railroad bridge, so the drawbridge was still closed. Sirens warned the boat traffic, but the towboat could not slow down in time. It struck the train bridge and the Highway 51 bridge, causing it to crumble, sending a pickup and 18-wheeler into the water. Both drivers survived.
Just one noise, that was it. And that was a collapse. You know, it's like a big loud crash.
Then, May 1993, it was the Claiborne Avenue Bridge that was hit. A tugboat was pushing an empty barge in the canal to the Mississippi River locks when it hit a support pier. A section collapsed onto the bank and the barge. 2 cars fell below. 1 person died and 2 others were severely injured. After the bridge was rebuilt, concrete debris from the wreck was put in place to protect the new support pier from being hit in the future.
Tell those people to get away.
And finally, fast forward to December 1996. The bulk cargo ship MV Brightfield crashed into the Riverwalk marketplace. It was fully loaded with grain. The U.S. Coast Guard found in its investigation that the engine of the vessel failed due to poorly maintained oil filters. It also found that the ship's automated warning system was not continuously relayed to the ship's master. No one died, but 66 people were injured. Meg Ferris, WWL, Louisiana.
We will have continuing coverage of this shocking collapse and the ongoing search and rescue efforts right here and online at WWLTV.com.